Friends, our next speaker is 27-year-old Lorin Khizran, a nurse from the Druze village of Yarka in the north of Israel. On October 7th, Lorin found herself working around the clock at Rambam Hospital's surgical department in Haifa, treating the wounded from both Israel's southern and northern borders. Born into a traditional Druze Israeli family, Lorin's father served in the Israeli Defense Forces for over 20 years, and Lorin has always felt a strong imperative to stand up to anti-Semitism. She's currently an educator with our friends at Stand With Us. Welcome, Lorin.
Hey everybody, thank you for having me here. I have to say, before I start, it's heartwarming to see my flag, my Druze flag here high in the UK. I love you guys. My name is Lorin, and I'm not Jewish. I'm not Muslim. I am Druze. And I come from a multicultural society in a state called Israel. Have you heard of it? I have come here to the UK for a year to work for Stand With Us and educate students on campuses about the real Israel and not the lies they are told. I grew up in a Druze village called Yarka, close to the Lebanese border in Israel, and I'm the oldest among 5 children. After I graduated from high school, I volunteered for national service for 2 full years in my community for my country. In Israel, Druze men serve in the IDF alongside Jewish people. This is how it has always been since 1948. Jewish people have a strong relation to the land, to its people. This is one of the Druze religion's main values. So doing national service for me and my sister wasn't ever a question. We felt it was the least we can do to serve our country. I finished nursing school in Haifa University in Haifa City, where I work in Rambam Hospital, the biggest hospital in the north of Israel, in the surgical department. On the 7th of October, I woke up from a call from my dad. At exactly 7:21 a.m., I will never forget that day, saying there is war in our country. Hundreds of Hamas terrorists invaded the Israeli-Gazan border. They murdered, raped, burned Israelis of all ages in their own bedroom and took hostages. Hostages who we still desperately need to come home. Bring them home. My father is a general in the IDF in Israel, and on that day, in the Israeli Druze spirit, he went straight into South and into action without no one asked him to do that, to serve his country and to be with his soldiers. He also warned me to be careful as I had an evening shift that day in the hospital. I have never felt so scared in my life, even though I was in Haifa, which is in the north of Israel, and the massacre happened in the south. I could not get out of my head the thought of terrorists coming to my own bedroom in my own house and could kidnap me anytime. I called my mom, who's a heavily religious Druze lady, and she said to me, "Lorin, I know you're scared, But this is the time we need to help our country, and your duty is to save lives, Israeli lives. At that moment, I have never felt more proud to be raised in a Zionist home. The first soldier I saw, she was 20 years old, and she was amputated from waist down. She was one of hundreds of soldiers and Israeli residents I treated during my service. I work around the clock since the 7th of October, treating casualties of all backgrounds, religions, and ages in my hospital. This is not a fight between Jews and Muslims, nor Israelis or Palestinians, but between citizens who want to live in peace and better their lives and the lives of their families, and evil, barbaric terrorists who wants to return us to Middle Ages. Like the Jewish population here in the UK, the Druze in Israel are a tiny minority. We are less than 2%. Since I have been in the UK, I heard few Jewish families fear that there might not be a future for Jews in the UK in a generation's time. But let me tell you something. I can say proudly that Druze people have never felt that way in Israel. We will be in Israel forever, no matter what happens. It's our home. Despite facing persecution in other Arab countries, the Druze people face in Israel, our home, and we are proud Zionists. And whenever people come and say Israel's an apartheid state, it's completely ignorant, and I'm here to set the record straight. The people marching on your streets, taking over your campuses, wearing flags in your hospitals, and spewing their hatred on social media are changing absolutely nothing in the Middle East. They are simply showing us who they are: racist, ignorant, bigots. Lastly, what I want to say is, Britain, act against hate before it's too late. Am Israel Chai, and bring them home. Thank you.